Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a little while since I did a new video, but I want to thank you guys over the last few years for just supporting the videos and listening to the talk show, subscribing, and all that good stuff. I'll be back with some brand new commentary here on YouTube. And again, but in the meantime, definitely continue listening to the talk show at DedanTolbertShow.com. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the definition of the perfect wife, and that topic was really inspired by the fact that I was driving down the down the street, and I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about just what is a wife, what is a man's perfect wife. Is it someone who cooks and cleans? Is it a freak? Is it someone who's independent, makes their own money? And all these things that really have nothing to do with what we as men, we as Christian men, look for in a wife. And so, just want to talk about a couple things today, as far as what we actually do look for, because there's definitely a huge misconception. There's a lot of misinformation being given out, whether it's these radio personalities, fake relationship experts, talk show hosts, whatever the case is. Everybody, is saying what they believe women want to hear, but not necessarily what they need to know. So, a couple things. First of all, there's this term floating around called bad bitches. All right, and that is just something that is really keeping a lot of women single. I mean, we're seeing a lot of women with their boobs out, their booty exposed. Just this attitude, this air of I'm doing you a favor by dating me, which is completely ludicrous. I mean, if you look at statistics, if you look at just how the game is being played, I mean, there's so many women, there's so much opportunity for men to date, and women have this sense that we have to chase you, we have to pursue you, and what we're actually looking for, actually, ladies, and ironically, is just that humility. From the 1940s, the 1950s, the 60s, and just, where women looked at, they appreciated chivalry. Nowadays it's like, they expect to be chased, and they're actually rewarding that attention, that sexual attention, with sex, and which totally changes the perception that of you in our eyes. All right, so that's the first thing from a sexual standpoint, ladies. You got to keep your legs closed. I mean, there's just so much sex out here going on, and not only is it leading to things like STDs and deadbeat dads, single parent homes, things like that, but it takes you out of the wife category if you were there to begin with. Like, you can't sleep with a man and then expect him to still want to wine and dine you, want to treat you affectionately, cuddle with you. I mean, especially when there's been no bond built. There's no, what I'm saying? I don't know you. I haven't invested time in you. We haven't gotten to know each other, but yet you want us to, you want us to look at you in the same way. And that's just not how it should be done if you are hoping for success. All right. Another thing is these attitudes. We look around, and and whether it's because of past failed relationships, sometimes even things deeper like abuse, molestation, rape. These are all things a lot of times from childhood that have not been healed from, and so they unfortunately they cause a barrier to go up, an emotional wall, an attitude, just looking at things from a negative standpoint, which it doesn't translate to having a great personality. It doesn't translate to me saying, "Wow, I wanna marry her. I wanna get to know her." But unfortunately, in many cases, that attitude is also accompanied with a big butt, a small waist, a pretty face, and so it catches the attention of men, but only from a sexual standpoint. And so, definitely, ladies, it's so important. One of the things I do as a counselor is help women overcome those daddy issues, or rape, abuse, molestation, whatever issues you have. Whoever you get help from, get that help, because men, that's one of the first things that we look for, are those types of issues, because we don't want to be hurt either. So why would we deal with someone who obviously is still hurting and struggling with things from their past? So that's the thing, is attitude. Another thing is, you gotta really, at the end of the day, ladies, you gotta know what we want in a wife. Again, I mentioned, cooking, cleaning, having a master's degree, a doctorate. Those things are really icing on the cake. They don't equate to being a good woman. I know women out here who think they have just because they have a house, they have a mortgage, a 401k, that makes them a great woman, when in reality, those things don't matter. Can I trust you? Can you will you be supportive of my goals? Can we pray together? Can we laugh together? Can we cry together? Can I introduce you to my friends? Bring you around my mother? Those are the types of things that really are more important. It doesn't matter if you are financially successful, but are you emotionally successful? Have you dealt with past issues to the point where you can trust me with your heart? When it comes to I mean, if we're talking just sex, if we're talking about having what they call a bae, a boo, those things are all good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what issues you have. But if you really want to take it to that next level with a man, you got to get your emotional stability in order. Okay. Another thing I'm seeing a lot of out here is these male friends. And that's, ladies, I cannot stress enough that the fact that these non-platonic male friends, these ex-boyfriends, these guys who like you, that you just kind of keep around in case of a rainy day. Those are those types of acquaintances. You look at Facebook. I mean, you got 5,000 friends. You got 1,000 friends with men, all over your profile telling you how sexy you are. I mean, that is not going to bode well if you want to be taken seriously by anybody. You got to cut off those guys. Nobody wants to think, oh, my wife is being lusted after, by 200 people. And not only that, but you're interacting with them. You're entertaining them. These little emojis, these little, hey, sexy, your whole comment line, your whole news feed is filled with just men. A lot of them are past sexual acquaintances, past boyfriends. These are things that you got to cut off well before you even decide to date. We want that woman who we know is able to give 100% of her heart. And I'm not even going to begin to talk about the spiritual side. That's a whole nother blog. You know what I'm saying? We got to do a whole nother video for that. But honestly, I'll just say this: you got to get your spirituality in order, because once that relationship with God is there, you're gonna have healed. You're gonna forgive people who have hurt you. You're not gonna be a freak out here. You're not gonna be out here having sex with everybody. You're not gonna have a bad attitude. So obviously, the relationship with God is going to be key if you hope to be a wife. Stop listening to these, relationship guys, these talk show hosts, the guys out here in the streets who just want to smash. They're giving you a false representation of what true Christian men look for in a wife. All right. So again, thank you guys for listening in. I'll be back with more videos. In the meantime, again, you can listen to me every night on my talk show, the Dedan Tolbert Show. All the information is in the my bio, DedanTolbertShow.com. And thank you for subscribing, and I'll see y'all next time.